90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After? Season 9 Mid-Season Trailer. Jasmine fears deportation and more. Video. The 90-Day Hunt for Love cast is about to spill the tea in the tell-all, but the 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After? Season 9 crew is just turning up the heat. The new mid-season trailer has dropped, and the drama is non-stop. If you thought the Jasmine and Gino chaos was going to simmer down, think again. Gino is a man scorned and believes Jasmine scammed him into marrying her. Gino claims that he's already called immigration about her, which leads a pregnant Jasmine to fear she'll be deported fresh off their wedding anniversary. Georgi drops a bombshell on Darcey. I knew it. Why didn't you say this a long time ago? I wouldn't have married you, Darcey says to Georgi after his confession. These next batch of episodes are going to lead to one epic tell-all, that's for sure. Scroll down to see more of the most shocking moments from the Season 9 mid-season trailer. 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After? Season 9, Sundays. During a couple's retreat at the Mirror Lake Inn, the Season 9 stars are getting very candid. The pairs play a game of Never Have I Ever, and Alexei says, "Never have I ever peed on my partner." Jovi puts his finger down, and the group is stunned by his admission. He's having fun and telling the truth. At least he's honest. Jasmine is terrified she'll get deported. Jasmine and Gino's relationship explodes in a way it never has before. Gino is convinced that Jasmine never loved him, and he's on the warpath. While on the phone with Jasmine, Gino yells that he's called immigration about her. You'll hear from them soon, Gino warns. In a confessional, an emotional Jasmine confesses, "I'm super afraid of being deported. It doesn't look good for me." Darcey is blindsided by Georgi's secret. While Darcey thinks a wedding anniversary party will bring her and Georgi closer together, her marriage takes a turn in the second half of the season. There is a thing that make me question myself, Georgi says. Darcey bursts into tears. I knew it. Why didn't you say this a long time ago? I wouldn't have married you, she cries. At one point, she pleads with Georgi to let her move on before walking away. Matthew asks Jasmine to marry him in the midst of her ongoing drama with Gino. Matthew, who is the father of Jasmine's daughter, asks Jasmine to marry him. Jasmine and Gino's relationship status remains murky to this day from a legal standpoint, so it'll be interesting to see Jasmine's response. 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After? Season 9 Why Jasmine Pineda is right to be mad at Gino Palazzolo. Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine Pineda are one of 8 couples featured on 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After? Season 9. After agreeing to an open marriage on 90-Day, the last resort, Gino and Jasmine have hit a crossroads. After Gino suspected that Jasmine was spending too much time with Matt Branisterianu, the third person in their open marriage, he kicked her out of the house. Since then, Gino started a new relationship with a woman named Natalie, which he hid from Jasmine since the Happily Ever After. Season 9 premiere, Gino and Jasmine's relationship has been all over the place. While they have both made mistakes, Gino has ultimately done more wrong than Jasmine. 90-Day Fiancé. Happily Ever After? Shows Gino Palazzolo is legally and financially responsible for Jasmine Pineda. Since Gino brought Jasmine to the United States on a K-1 visa, he has certain responsibilities involving her. First and foremost, Gino is financially responsible for Jasmine for a period of time, as she cannot work right away. With Jasmine unable to find a job, she had to rely on Gino allowing her to live with him. When Gino kicked Jasmine out, she was lucky that Matt let her move in with him. However, Gino violated his legal responsibility by doing so. Matt recently admitted that he has become Jasmine's sole financial provider. He even told Gino that he could take him to court for the money if he really wanted to. While Jasmine hasn't been perfect, her behavior doesn't give Gino the right to abandon her completely. Jasmine is in a new country, and Gino agreed to support and take care of her in America. By not fulfilling those obligations, Gino is in the wrong. Jasmine followed the rules of the open marriage, while Gino didn't. During the last resort, Jasmine proposed the idea of an open marriage to Gino. Since Gino refused to be intimate with her, Jasmine felt it was the only way to save their relationship. While Gino initially didn't love the idea, he eventually agreed to it. Gino set forth a series of rules for Jasmine and Matt to follow as part of the agreement. The rules included how often they could see and be intimate with one another. Furthermore, Gino requested that the agreement be stopped immediately if Jasmine began to develop romantic feelings for Matt. While Gino argued otherwise, Jasmine did follow the rules of the open marriage. She didn't sleep with anyone other than Matt, and until Gino kicked her out, she spent a limited amount of time with him. Gino, however, didn't follow the rules of the open marriage agreement. He went to visit Natalie and even kissed her without letting Jasmine know at all. Jasmine thought Gino kicking her out was temporary, and had no idea that he had begun seeing someone else. Open marriage is complicated, but ultimately, Jasmine followed the rules while Gino didn't. Gino gave Jasmine hope that the two would rekindle before bringing Natalie to his cousin Dana's birthday party. Shortly before the fight at Dana's birthday party, Gino met up with Jasmine to discuss their relationship. While Gino initially told Jasmine he wanted a divorce, he later went back on that. When they met up for the second time, Gino expressed that he still had hope that things could work out between them. However, when Gino told Jasmine about Natalie, she became upset and left the bar nonetheless. There was never a conversation after the fact where Gino confirmed that he wanted a divorce. When Jasmine showed up to the party and saw Natalie there with Gino, she became enraged. Gino was in the wrong for this, however, as he knew that he had given Jasmine hope for rekindling their marriage. Gino brought a new woman to introduce to his family and friends without even letting Jasmine know. While she could have handled the situation better, Jasmine did have the right to be in 90-day fiancés. Jasmine finally met Gino's new girlfriend, and I have strong feelings about his family setting it up. When you buy through links on our articles, Future and its syndication partners may earn a commission. Warning. The following contains spoilers for the 90-day fiancé, Happily Ever After? Episode. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Stream it with an HBO Max subscription and read at your own risk. We've known for quite a while that Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo were one of the latest 90-day fiancé couples to split after marriage, but that hasn't stopped it from becoming some of the most compelling drama in Happily Ever After. Season 9. That trend continued in the latest episode when Jasmine finally met Gino's girlfriend Natalie, but I can't help but question how it went down. Weeks after Gino told his soon-to-be ex-wife he wanted a divorce, he invited Natalie to Michigan to attend his cousin's birthday party. Admittedly, it might be the lamest way to highlight the fun of living in the Midwestern state, but what had me shaking my head is that his family decided to invite Jasmine for what became a heated event. Jasmine's arrival went exactly how we expected it to if it wasn't painfully apparent that Natalie walked into a setup after listening to the wild line of questioning Gino's cousin had for the two of them. It should have been when Jasmine was already hurling insults at Natalie the second she walked in the door. She called her a stripper and a whore, and almost immediately, the two women started going at it. Natalie eventually walked out the door while Jasmine continued to scream whore as she exited. In her confession, Jasmine stated she had no idea she would react that way, but I find that incredibly hard to believe. 90-Day Fiancé fans knew this was coming because Jasmine has a pretty extensive history of causing a scene in tense moments, especially when cameras are rolling. She's had knockdown dragouts with Gino, threatened Natalie Mordovtseva, and even threw down with Rob Warren when she was pregnant. In fairness, that last fight took place after the battle with Gino's girlfriend was filmed, but I think everyone, including Gino's family, knew how this was going to go. Gino's family shouldn't have invited one or the other to the party. Breakups are tough, and I get there are times where everyone has to come together as adults and be there for the greater good. That said, this wasn't one of those times. Jasmine and Gino are in the midst of starting a divorce, months after he kicked her out of their home for her relationship with Matt Branisterianu, and he just brought his new girlfriend to meet the family for the first time. If anyone was convinced inviting them both would go smoothly, I'd be shocked. For that reason, I have to believe that 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Deliberately set this whole scene up specifically for entertainment value. In a rational world, either Jasmine would have opted not to go, or Gino would have decided he wouldn't attend. At the end of the day, we're talking about a random birthday dinner for an adult cousin. Not to call myself out too much here, but I can't remember the last time that I attended birthday festivities for any of my cousin's special days. HBO Max, plans start from $9.99 a month. 90-Day Fiancé has a streaming home on HBO Max. Pay $9.99 a month for its with ads plan, with 3 tiers available for an HBO Max subscription. You can also prepay for a year and save up to 20%. View deal. Part of me just wants to believe the whole thing was a scripted moment. All 90-Day Fiancé participants were in on, because if not, I feel so bad for Natalie. She didn't ask to be pulled into any of this, and she didn't fly into Michigan on her dime to be called a whore in front of her boyfriend's entire family by his ex-wife. If my significant other set me up for something like that, I wouldn't be dating them anymore. We'll see if Natalie feels the same way as new episodes of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Continue on TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch up now on HBO Max, or just rewatch the wild showdown that went on during the Palazzolo family gathering. 90 Day Fiancé. I'm more convinced than ever Jasmine Pineda won't go back to Panama. US is her home. I believe that 90 Day, the last resort star Jasmine Pineda won't return to Panama because she now considers the United States her new home. I enjoyed watching the dynamic of the relationship between Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine, and I found their love story very entertaining. Despite their fights, I sensed love and compassion between them, which made me confident that they would overcome their year-age gap and eventually get married. Initially, Jasmine and Gino had a good relationship, but things changed for the worse over time. Gino became less romantic, causing Jasmine to become less happy. Jasmine showed her intention to go back to Panama. Jasmine wants to reunite with her sons. In the past 6 months, I have noticed that Jasmine frequently posts about her future in the United States. She shared her goal of saving enough money to bring her 2 sons, Juance and JC, to the United States and mentioned the possibility of returning to Panama if she couldn't reunite with them. Jasmine had mentioned that if her sons were unable to obtain their U.S. visas, she would go back to her home country to be with them. It's clear that Jasmine's main focus is reuniting with her sons. In early, according to Therialitmus, Jasmine did a live where she thanked her fans for supporting her by booking her cameos and subscribing to her OnlyFans. She mentioned that this support was helping her save money for her kids. Jasmine also discussed a worst-case scenario, stating, "In the worst-case scenario, my children's visa gets denied, and they can't be reunited with me. I'll go back to Panama." Jasmine has been taking various measures to save money, including shopping at the dollar store and mentioning that she wasn't going to nail salons to avoid overspending. Jasmine and Matt's bond is growing stronger. Jasmine and Matt may get engaged. I think there are several reasons why Jasmine would not return to Panama, despite what she has said on social media. I believe she will remain in the United States and take the opportunity to build a future in the land of opportunity. Jasmine felt homesick in Michigan before, as it wasn't her comfort zone. However, since moving to a tropical state like Florida and meeting Matt, who genuinely cares for her, she has found a sense of belonging. Additionally, she has started a family and had a baby with Matt earlier. Jasmine expressed her reluctance to enter a relationship with Matt, stating that she was done dating men and needed a break. However, her recent social media activity hints at a change of heart, with indications that she may be falling in love with him. Jasmine has even launched an Instagram profile dedicated to sharing moments with Matt, suggesting that she is smitten with him. I believe that an engagement between them could be on the horizon, and if it happens, there may be a slim chance of her returning to Panama. Jasmine has found a new family in the U.S. Jasmine now has a strong support system. I also think that Jasmine's new family in the United States is a significant factor in making her feel at home here. A year ago, she only knew a few people, including Gino. However, she now has a closer relationship with her friend, Matt, some of her former in-laws, and her daughter, Matilda, aka Maddie. I think Jasmine has created a strong support system with her new family in the United States. In my opinion, she no longer has a pressing need to return to Panama. I have seen Jasmine talk about her new family several times in the past 6 months. Her latest post was in May, where she shared photos of Matt sitting next to Gino's cousin, Dana, and his wife, Michelle. Dana and Michelle have a close relationship with Jasmine, who affectionately referred to them as Papa and Mommy in the post. She wrote, "Papa Dana and Mommy Mishi came to visit their little princess. Lovely weekend." Jasmine referred to Matt, Dana, and Mishi as her beautiful American family and expressed her love for them. Jasmine loves Florida weather. Jasmine lives close to beaches. A major factor in Jasmine's dislike of the United States was the weather. She didn't enjoy being in Michigan due to the cold temperatures. Jasmine longed to be in a tropical and sunny place like Panama. She would often threaten Gino with leaving him and returning to Panama. However, it seems that Jasmine is no longer facing the same issues. Since moving to Florida, she appears to be enjoying her time in the United States. Jasmine can now enjoy sunny weather, visit beaches, and continue living a similar life to the one she had in Panama. Jasmine aspires to become a real estate agent in the U.S. Jasmine's career goals may prevent her from returning to Panama. Jasmine's career goals indicate that she plans to remain in the United States permanently. In March, Jasmine shared a post about her upcoming professional milestone, stating that she was attending classes to pursue a career in real estate. Jasmine expressed her desire to become a real estate agent, saying, "First day of classes to become a real estate agent. Feeling powerful." If the 90-day, the last resort alum does become a real estate agent in the United States, it's unlikely that she will return to Panama anytime soon, or on a permanent basis, to be with her family.